You have 10 seconds to absolutely bomb your job interview. How do you do it? Accidentally insult the interviewer's profession. I'm so glad this position is for it and not something worthless like our. To be said to interviewer, sweetie, can you grab me a coffee pronto? Instead of a handshake, go in for an open mouth kiss. I can do it in 1 second, nice tits. This works on offending both women and men. Sorry if my nose bleeds, I just did a line that was bigger than it looked. I'd shake your hand but I wouldn't want you to catch it, do not elaborate. Always wanted to do this, take off your shoe and sock, and start clipping your toenails. Sit on the interviewer. Don't ask. Does this place have cameras? If so, how many and where? Repeat everything they say in a mocking tone. Is this a picture of your daughter? Can I keep it? Answer the question, where do you see yourself in 5 years, by answering, I'll be too valuable to this organization for them to waste my time on recruiting the new employees. In an interview for a hospital, if they ask a medical-related question, start singing, humming, the hip bones connected to the thigh bone frantically. In an interview for an accounting firm, imply that a chimpanzee with a calculator could do the job, so you're perfectly qualified. Ask how firm the sexual harassment policy is. Ask the interviewer if he's cool when asked to do a drug test, and imply that you need some clean urine and are willing to pay. Grab the interviewer's coffee cup and take a drink. Finally, one I can answer, Asian parents made me do an interview for some job I didn't want. So I just showed up and started having lunch in the room, lasted about 5 seconds before being asked to leave. Edit, I did not get the job. I also lost my parents doing this. So win-win. So loud prawn blasting from your pocketed phone's speaker. Act like you can't hear it. Insist that you can't hear anything. Excuse me, may I go to the bathroom first? Of course you may. Make a face of relief. Thank you. Edit. https://youtube.be/_qswoom7z4y. Forget your own age. It's how I bombed my first one. I had just turned 18, for some reason my dumb butt said 16, number 18. I could tell they didn't believe anything I said after that. I forgot to check, is this building within 500 feet of a school? English is hard. Tell them I'll only work for double the pay at half the hours. Win-win situation, you either bomb the interview or get great pay and half the hours of everyone else. Can you do crack in the break room? Sue, do you guys drug test? Walk in shaking and scratching my face, immediately ask if they pay in cash. Scream. Answer all of the questions perfectly, shake their hands firmly, reiterate your interest in the job, and just throw back your head and scream. The loudest, highest scream of your life. After you have completed this, clear your throat loudly. Then you really have to go in for the kill, reach across the table and shake their hand once more, smiling as if nothing happened. Tell them to have a nice day, knowing that you have called into question all aspects of their life. Will my boss be female? I don't particularly care to have a woman telling me what to do. I like competing company better, but they wouldn't hire me. Do you at least pay well? Greater than I don't feel comfortable working near black people, so if you could put my desk farther away from the colored folk, that would be preferable. Do you mind if I masturbate while we do this? Show up. I want to work for you because it will give me the chance to meet heaps of new people and introduce them to the wonders of essential oils and the horrors of vaccines. Regardless of their race, refer to the interviewer as the N-word as much as possible. Step 1, furry suit. Step 2, jizz stain. Step 3, insist on a hug instead of a handshake. I didn't know ugly people worked here, but good for you for getting a managerial position. Hi. I am 52 years old. Wait for an important question to start being asked and, in the middle of the interviewer's sentence, hold up a finger as an indication that the interview should pause his sentence. Lift up one butt cheek from the chair and let out the juiciest, rankest fart of all time while maintaining eye contact with the interviewer, and then say, I finished your sentence for you. On a scale from 1 to 10, how hot is her daughter? Newly single, not looking for anything serious, but I absolutely cannot date any uglies. If she looks like you, though, I'm not interested. Place some C4 and then leave quickly. Tell them my goal is to replace them. Point to the picture on the desk and ask greater than who's the jerk, courtesy George Carlin. Propose. Just so you know, I killed like 3 people last year, but don't worry, it was for this cult thing in Mexico and that's in the past now. Garbage on the floor, or if I am trying to impress them, helicopter slong. I can't pass a drug test, is that okay? Lock eyes and let out a squeaky, muffled 9.5-second fart. Now, I don't think we should drag politics into this, and I don't really agree with everything Hitler said, but me, flips table, or chair of there isn't one, alright, first question, how long have you worked here? Interviewer, sir. This is an interview.me, yeah. I'm not stupid, I'm interviewing you to see if you're good enough to join my insert MLM here team. Say, I hate your company and everything it stands for. I banged a chick last night. Fluff you, fluff your company, I slashed your tires you pretentious hack, and #X200B, all while unplugging and sticking the computer monitor under your arm. Interviewer, what are your hobbies outside of work? Me, furry prawn? I just had an interview in Wednesday that I was a disaster at. I was, still am, pregnant and started crying from hormones and nerves, less than 10 seconds, but I think it did the trick. I worked as an independently contracted distributor of high-quality recreational products. What company? Sinaloa Cartel. All it takes is 7 words, do you know who my father is? What are your hobbies? Tax fraud, arson and murder. Show them my CV and years of absolutely nothing and tell them about my social anxiety, that or ask if they've ever had happy fun time with a donkey, both sound about equal, p. Just based on interviews I've conducted, show up in filthy clothes, smell terrible, make racist, sexist jokes, show up late and not give a fluff, say fluff, female doggy, jerk during the interview, answer all or most of our questions with unrelated anecdotes about your kids and how all of the skills we ask about came to you because you're a parent. Fluffing, getting fluffed only makes you an authority on creating and delivering a child, it doesn't actually teach you everything about fixing a laptop or filling a prescription or whatever. Admit you lied on the resume application or had someone else do it for you. These were not all the same candidate, though several are from the same person. I was floored that they actually gave him a chance. Took a day and a half for him to be walked out. Oh, I did it. I walked into a place and hated it immediately, but didn't have the balls to walk out. When the interviewer asked if I'd read the info she sent me, I lied and said that I hadn't, saw it in her eyes that I wouldn't be getting a callback. Tilda. Fart and say, got more where that came from, fluffo, and then wink suggestively. I can projectile vomit at will, either say that, or demonstrate it without prompting. Tell me about a time you disagreed with a coworker, and how did you resolve it? Well, Sally would always complain about my ideas and was in a bad mood. I think she was on her period, so I just bought some ice cream and let the red tide rain in. I just saw 2 hotties while walking over to the interview room. Would you say such fine specimens are often encountered around here? Does your workplace weapons policy include full auto? Either you bomb the interview or find yourself in a very interesting job environment. True story, off topic but somewhat related. I went in to interview for a sales job in the technology field. The hiring manager said, "You have 5 minutes to piss me off." I wasn't sure if he was implying that my interview will suck, or to literally piss him off. I stood up, extended my arm and put it at the end of his desk. I looked him square in the eye and moved my arm from one end to the other, knocking over keyboards and family photos and jars of garbage. He simply said, "You're hired and get the fluff out of my office." This was about 15 years ago and I still work here. Harvey Weinstein, R. Kelly, Kevin Spacey and Bill Cosby are my biggest examples when it comes to workspace social interaction. For real though, saying you have no idea what the company does is a definite, sorry the position has been filled. Where do you see yourself 5 years? Peter's inner thoughts, don't say doing your wife. Don't say doing your wife. Don't say doing your wife, Peter, doing your, son? What's your biggest flaw? My honesty. I don't think that's a flaw, I don't give a fluff what you think. I'm gonna need X dates off for my rape trial. They're saying I'm going to prison, but that kid was practically begging Jimmy to do him, her. What's it matter if she's only 11? Garbage your pants and say, gee, this sure happens a lot. For an added plus, ask the interviewer how much their daughter costs. I get why they do it, but for me it's always a problem when they go out of their way to tell you how much you need to hire them because your company sucks so much, and #X200B. It's nice to hear something more along the lines of, this seems like a great place to be and I want to help you make it better. Simple. When they extend their hand for you to shake, make a disgusted face and only grasp the tip of their finger, proceed to shake weakly. Walk in and go, oh good you're not black, I was scared for a second. What are your views on sexual harassment, workplace motivator or a no-no since the ugly people got offended? Reach into my pants to start scratching my crotch, remove my hand and visibly smell it, then proceed to offer a handshake. If I get hired after that, they're probably pretty chill. Say pardon me a moment and climb up on the interviewer's desk, drop true and garbage, then pee, all while maintaining eye contact. Then wipe your butt with a copy of your resume, then waddle out with your pants around your ankles.